So you can see here behind us, the next run that we've got's pretty fast and a pretty deep run as well. So again, the versatility of the nymph under dry fly rig is that we've got our little dropper there with our dry fly and then our nymph on the end, which easily allows us to change those flies as needed to suit the type of water that we're fishing in. So because this run's quite deep and quite fast, what I'm going to do is put a bigger dry fly on and also a heavier nymph too. So we want a slightly bigger dry fly to make sure that we hold that nymph up nice and well. So because we've got our little dropper there, we can easily change that over to another dry fly, as opposed to if you had that nymph tied off the bend of the hook, you'd have to change the whole thing. So I can easily just pick out a slightly bigger dry fly out of there, tie that onto the end of that little dropper that we tied on at the start of the day, and that just prevents me from having to cut that entire dropper off at the nymph end and basically start again. So there we go. Within a few seconds we've changed over our dry fly. Again, we'll just apply a little bit of our float there, and that's like a bigger dry fly that's going to hold up a slightly heavier nymph. So then coming down to our nymph, so we did have our little 3mm pheasant tail nymph on there, which has been working really well this morning. Number of fish on that one. So we might just go to a 3.5mm bead, and I might go something a little bit brighter as well. So just a little Tassie Devil nymph there, that one's called. That's a little pink bead with an orange tail, so that'll be a little bit brighter and also a little bit heavier, so it'll get down a little bit deeper into that run, and also a little bit brighter so that any fish that are holding in there are definitely going to see it. And again, very easy to change that nymph over on the end of that dropper. Very simple to just change these flies as you work your way up the river to suit the types of water that you're fishing in. So the 3mm bead has done the job so far, but with this deep and fast run behind us here, we've just changed that over. Bigger dry fly, heavier nymph. We'll run that through and see if we can pick up anything in this run. There we go, on there. So we just come up into the next little run here, and that fish was exactly where we've sort of been saying that he would be, just sitting there in that little soft bit of water. And we did just change the nymph over. There was a little bit of colour in the water, so we just thought maybe the fish weren't seeing it as well as they might have been able to, so we just changed that over. And there's another nice fish there. This one was sitting just off that faster water, just in a slightly slower piece of water, and we saw that little dry go down, and that was it. So another beautiful little wild Tassie brown trout there. Beautiful colours. Plenty of fun on a nice warm day up here in the lowlands.